didn't put a date when I started or anything, but I think I started it sometime last year, and I was doing these kind of different face, this way, there we go. These different face shapes because I felt like a lot of my characters were kind of looking the same. And then I said, okay, let's do the 100 head challenge. And I think I have another sketchbook where I started it and then I moved to the sketchbook because I liked it better. Also, the pages are much thicker and you could probably do some paint on this really nicely. But then I started doing these little faces where I was actually using reference, but then still making it kind of the way that I want to draw faces. So if you can see, like, it still looks like some of these look like it's headed in the realistic realm, but I give them like dots for eyes, and I simplify the facial features a little bit. Let's move that. And yeah, so this is pretty much like what I was working on. And then I was doing these didn't take me super long, like maybe a couple of minutes. I don't think I spent more than an hour on this. At night I would do multiple pages, and then I started making them bigger so that I could get, I like this face, so that I could get some good reference for myself going. And then I kind of trailed off on this sketchbook, unfortunately. It was really supposed to be like my like head sketchbook, and I was supposed to start like practicing gouache in here. I don't know if that's how you pronounce gouache, but then I started doing some logos for like read to dream and read to live. And then I did some faces again. You can see those. I posted a little bit of this on my Instagram. And then that was the last page. This is a Strathmore something. It's soft bound, so you can kind of, and not wire. It's also not hard like this one. This is the same series, but this one is a hard bound and this one's soft bound. You see the difference? You can bend this one, you can't bend this one. But I think I'd like to do some more head studies in here, but I just started working in this sketchbook. Oh Lord, everything's falling. I just started working in this sketchbook, my Let's Try. Is this still wet? Interesting. And that's been interesting. I only started it like two days ago. So I'm looking out for my daughter's bus, because the other bus was early. So I'd like to get back to this one. It's just that like I have so many sketchbooks now, like for different stuff, that it's kind of hard to keep track of what I want to do in it. But this one is more for like just exploration and just kind of like trying new things, trying different stuff. Like yesterday I was working on this piece. I did like a little portrait, and then I used my Posca pens to do the shapes and in the different colors, and I gave them a little crown because I was doing that in this sketchbook. This sketchbook is my more like refined sketchbook. So I do have them dated, like this is from November 23, and then December 23. This is also ideation, but I don't know, I don't mind doing some idea generation here in this book, and then I was doing some more detailed characters in here. And this was an idea for the book called The Changeling. I listened to it while I was sick, and I also started watching the movie, and it was actually really great. It was like really, not the movie, the show. And I was thinking about a new book cover for it, where we have our main character Apollo going against the troll. Spoiler alert if you've never read the book or watched the show, even though we're not exactly there yet with the show. So I do like other stuff, my studio layout. I was trying to think of how to rearrange my space. Some more character designs in here. I'm about to bring y'all a little closer because I don't know if it's too far out. And then we have some more character. Actually, this is a character based off of my daughter. Alright, I gotta go, but we'll pick this up later. Sorry about that. I had to go get my daughter, so I had to pretty much stop the video. But this is a different sketchbook that I'm going to go through. It looks like I started it in 2023. I think I'm actually still working on it. I'm not 100% sure why I haven't really worked in it since, but I think I've started a different like sketchbook process. I don't know about you, but when I work through a sketchbooks, most of the time I really don't know what I'm, looking to practice sometimes. And so I just start drawing random stuff like, on that first page, it was just random heads. And that second page, again, more random heads. A lot of the time I find that I'm just trying to work out like what my artistic voice is and what like my style wants to move into whatever direction. And honestly, I know a sketchbook is for practice and just for like, practicing ideas and things, but a lot of the time I find like I don't really have an idea of what I want to do when I come across my sketchbook. So I think like this practice of keeping one is wonderful and great, but the idea of doing it and also trying to be a little bit consistent at it. Like, I don't think you have to draw on your sketchbook every day. I think maybe a couple times a week is a good practice to have. But for me, sometimes I go through spurts of like, I'm drawing, every day on hours on end. And then I have weeks like this week and last week where I'm barely drawing in my sketchbook because I just don't have the drive to do it. And then I also I don't have the interest. I guess interest and drive is about the same thing. But what we're looking at right now is I was watching The Changeling, and then I also listened to the audiobook because I was sick and I really had nothing else to do besides, lay in bed and try to get better. And so I started doing some ideas for the cover. And here, these are some character designs. If you don't know, I'm a picture book illustrator. And so a lot of my time is spent drawing kids, drawing animals, drawing people. So I do a lot of that drawing in my sketchbook. And I also do like reference it. If I'm having a hard time like coming up with background characters, I will usually pull someone from my sketchbook and plop them into the book. Obviously make them fit style-wise and all of that, like with whatever I've got going on. But for the most part, that's a great way to also be able to kind of get like ensemble characters in a project. So this page, I think we were watching Harry Potter at the time, and so I started doing these little like Harry Potter characters. That's Hermione. Ron is at the top, and then there's Harry to the left. I don't know who that kid at the bottom is. I think that was just like a random kid I sketched in there. But yeah, every year we have this like Harry Potter marathon where we try to watch all of the movies before the new year. It doesn't always happen. Like this year we didn't make it. But I think I was also working on like hairstyles and how to draw them. I was doing this kind of like organic line work versus kind of being very rigid with hairstyles. You can kind of see it a little bit in these characters where they're more rounded on like the ponytails and the braids and the locks. You can see where I'm pointing out right there on the page. Just to see like if that would make it easier when creating artwork instead of being like so textural with it. That little, well, now we flip the page the other way. That guy to the left there, that's the troll from The Changeling that I was trying to draw up and and create. I've never really drawn a troll before, so that was something different. Again, this is a character based off of my 4-year-old, and I really loved because her hair actually did that. I had to like flat iron her hair, and so her hair was just kind of sticking out in the back like that. And I was like, that is really a cute look, and so I sketched it up in my sketchbook while she was sitting watching Sesame Street. Heavy ensemble books where it's like a lot of community, and a lot of the time in communities there are adults, so all of the books that I've worked on so far haven't solely been children, like just kids as the only characters in the book. There's usually a couple adults here and there. And this that we're flipping through right now, this is 3 pages of a character that I do want to flesh out some more. Like it could just be like a 3-panel illustration, and where like she's going through this kind of like forest of plants. I'm really interested in working on that eventually at some point. Hi, how's everybody doing? So now we're gonna go through the January 2024, and I think maybe some of February. I might just do a monthly thing where we just flip through the month. So January, I don't think I have a ton in January, but I was doing character designs here for a project. I don't think the characters really look too much like this, but I think the little girl looks kind of close. Yeah, I was trying to decide on how Papa looked. I like this right here. This looks a little odd. I think I lost my momentum. Let's see what's in the page. There's a schedule. And then I started doing kind of like portraits. This is Brittany. I can't remember what her last name is. But she is the lead singer of Alabama Shakes. And then I did a sketch of Faith Ringgold. She wrote and illustrated Tar Beach. This is a sketch of Michaela Cole. Her face is very intriguing to me as an artist. She just has very defined features, and I think when I see people who have features like that, like I just want to try to get it down on the paper and I don't know, record it somehow. And then Cynthia Revo, yeah. What else to say? I started doing these shapes like in the clothing, like you can see it here, and then here the shapes within the clothing, and then having the shapes around it. I don't know, it's something, I like it. And then this is James Baldwin. I don't think it looks fully like him, but it kind of looks like him. And this is Jean-Michel Basquiat. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite drawings out of the bunch that I did. And then here is just a character that I was making. And this is John Baptiste. I'm really into his music lately, although I haven't listened to it fully, except for the documentary I watched. This is my little lady, my little girl. I did a little drawing of her, and then I put washi tape around her because I think I wanted to paint this, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I might just leave it. I get scared like when I see like when I sketch stuff and then like I like it and I like it too much that I don't want to mess it up with paint. So I tried to do a self-portrait of myself, but I feel like I did not get my facial features right. I don't know, something about it doesn't feel fully me, but I think I was close. I think I just didn't get it. I didn't find it on the page, as my professor would say. And then this is supposed to be, what's his name? Jordan Peele. And then this is just a black page because why not? And then I did some swatches because I bought some Posca pens. And I think that's it for January. Yeah, because this starts February. And this is a page out of my book, Between Two Windows. Actually, it's a page that didn't get into the book, but it is one of my favorite pages. It says, "Our queen is here, let the jubilee begin." And I really wish this made it into the book, but ended up taking it out. So that happens. Alright, and then y'all will see February, if there's anything to show in February, because I feel like February, we're almost mid-February, and I haven't done too much drawing this month. So thanks for joining me, and maybe I'll do a little bit more talking while I do a voiceover for this. Alright, bye.